We will have real-time online feedback collection from all of you, and this will be basis of our discussion. So please participate. I will announce the online feedback shortly. At one point of time, we would request all to put on the camera to take a group picture. Next slide. Then let's have a look on the outlet of today's session briefly. Operational plan of one NSD of NS, build the NSD plan. Bdrcs approach today's operational plan, NSD direction paper, and coordinating the one National Society Development Plan, open discussion, wrap up, then closing remarks. At this point, I would like to give the floor to Mr. Sanjeev Kumar Kafle, Head of Delegation IFRC Country Office. He will share the importance of one National Society Development Plan. Mr. Sanjeev Kafle, floor is open for you. Please unmute yourself.
Please unmute your microphone.
Okay, now okay?
Yes.
Yeah, loud and clear, Dada.
Very good, thank you. Greetings from IFRC Bangladesh to all of you colleagues. Great to see the wider engagement on national society development. If I am not wrong, we organized this kind of event in that particular for NSD first time to make the red pillar stronger. At least I am not away, and congratulations go to the Giorgio and the team. And congratulations to all organizers and the contributors as well. NSD is a very wider subject for me, and it must be in the center of our all discussion during the planning, designing, and implementation to make one NSD plan. It requires the proactive engagement of entire movement while developing the plan. Bdrcs did very well in Bangladesh, and thank you all and congratulations for that. Bdrcs developed strategic plan 2021-2025 as earlier mentioned. They do have a National Society Development Direction paper as well as consolidated plan along with the movement partners. They have formed an advisory team to facilitate and monitor the progress. They agreed to publish the NSD bulletin as a tool to report against the consolidated plan. They have already issued one NSD bulletin earlier and next will come soon. This is a very good practice. This entire practice keep them engaged in NSD dialogue together with all movement partners. For me, NSD is not only the training, distribution of the equipment, building the infrastructure, development of policy and the guidelines. For me, NSD is also a process to identify the issue of national society and a way to address those issues. Sometimes we are good to identify the problems, but not enough in working for the solutions. Considering the so vague and deepened concept of the national society development and to make our red pillar stronger, I really think we need to have an NSD wallet. And I'm actually getting request attention of the Giorgio as well, the NSD wallet at a national society level. We really need to have an on-earmark funding for that wallet. The management of such a wallet can be done collectively to support the agreed priorities. I wish you all the good luck for the discussion and action point for way forward. Thank you very much. Afroza, over to you.
Thank you. Thanks to Mr. Sanjeev Kafle for nicely highlighted the benefits of operational plan. IFRC is supporting us in this joint from the beginning. I'm sure many national societies are also focusing on the one operational plan or similar approach. It would be good to learn from them as well. Hence, we would request the participant from the other national societies or from I4C colleagues to demonstrate any of the tools approach you are using for a similar purpose. You can think of any benefits that your national society is getting from this one plan approach, or you can also think of any challenges you are facing to prepare such one plan. We'll open the floor for discussion at a later stage, and we'll request you to raise your hand to share your experience as well. Uh, At this point, I'm going to share operational plan of a national society to build the NSD plan. Next slide, please. Uh, I will share some basic things about the strategic plan and operational plan, which will give you an overview. Strategic plan is a reference and guiding document for an organization. It helps an organization to understand this, its current situation and capacity. Uh, by defining vision and mission, it gives direction to the organization. It helps organization to guide many things, and it also defines the development of prioritized strategic objectives such as goals and objectives necessary to achieve that vision and mission, and helps to outline best course of action to achieve those activities. Um, one of the I must say that one of the main function of the strategic plan is to guide and influence development of more detailed planning at the operational plan. On the other hand, operational planning process helps to determine how the strategic goals and outcomes defined in the strategic plan will achieved in the ground. Project programs and service may be considered in the form of an overall operational plan. To translate a strategic objective into practical result, the additional lower level objective, which is integral part of operational plan, is necessary for the achievement of the identified goals and outcomes. Next slide, please. Here I tried to visualize the relationship between strategic and operational planning. If you see carefully, you will find how these two plans are interrelated. As we are the member of I4C, we considered I4C strategy, and at the same time, we auxiliary to the government. So while we are developing National Society SP, we guided by their strategy, and it reflects in our National Society strategy. These two strategies guide us to develop operational plan. When we developed operational plan, it indicates which project and service we should consider. Similarly, operational plan influence to develop National Society strategic plan. That means strategic and operational planning is a cyclic process. With this, we can say operational planning began being used to inform strategic plan, and strategic planning then inform the future general direction of operational planning. Next slide, please. Translating strategic objective into operational plan. This is my last slide. In my last slide, I just tried to show how a strategic objective can be translated into operational plans. If we have our strategic plan, then we have mission, vision, goal, and different level objectives such as outcome, outputs. Translating strategic objective into operational plan is a result-based system which has a logical background, and you can see how we are breaking it down. All these expected objective guide us to develop an operational plan, or we can say we develop operational plan to achieve output which is immediate result of our activity. Then after a certain period we can see the intermediate results of the activity, and gradually it heads to achieve our goal which already defined in our strategic plan. Step by step, the results contributes to meet the mission and vision. If we have consolidated operational plan for a national society, we can extract NSD priorities or plan from that plan. That means the systematic and structured operational plan of a national society helps to build national society development plan. In the next presentation, you will get an idea how Bangladesh Red Crescent Society started this exercise from last years. I'm passing this floor to my colleague, Mr. Asif Almas Mamun, to share our experience from our society, how we developed our operational plan last year. Floor is yours, Asif Bhai.
Thank you, Afroja Appa, to give me the opportunity to presenting here. Esteemed participants from all over the world, good morning. good afternoon, and good evening. Myself, Asif Almas, as Afroja said, working as a Planning, Monitoring, Evaluation Officer with Bdrcs. I would like to say thank everyone to being here. It is also my pleasure to welcome everyone to the presentation on Bdrcs approach on the process of developing a one or unified operation plan for National Society. You are seeing that the images on the slide are of two wheels taken from IFRS strategic guideline. If you take a closer look, you will see that the linkage of the operation plan has been designed mainly from the overlapping areas of two diagrams. That is, the operation plan is mainly part of the result chain, starting from the activity level to strategic goal of SP. However, my today's discussion doesn't mainly focus on this issue. As the topic has already been discussed by Afroja, I just make a focus on explaining the linkage of National Society objectives and corresponding operational plan. If we look at the bottom of the slide, you can see highlighted area of the 2021 operation plan of Bdrcs. It's mainly starting at the activity level plan through budget allocation. And that's the discussion from my first slide, requesting for move in the second slide. And in the second slide, I am presenting about the Bdrcs one operation plan. What do we get from it? I would like to share the following points as benefit of having operation plan. First one, Bdrcs department operation plan and budget are covered. These points are mainly planning and budgeting tools according to the activity of 2021 of all department, project and programs of the National Society. And the plan includes also the LIMS plan as well. Second one is aligned with the result matrix of SP 21 to 25. It is also aligned with the result matrix of Bdrcs SP from output to goal level. And third one, all department activities are organized based on a pivot table. All activities are primarily accumulated on a spreadsheet and organized by a pivot table, which is used as a management tool for decision making process. And then provision for resource allocation and funding gap analysis. The operation plan is also a management tool to see the goal-wise allocation of budget and analyzing the funding gap as well. The operation plan also have provision to make it magnifying by department and its underlying project and program also. And the last one, whole NSD plan extracted from the operation plan. This means this is an important thing that this operation plan has option to extract by filter the National Society Development Plan. Next slide, please. This slide mainly presenting a snapshot what Bdrcs one operation plan looks like and what is the content of document. It contains mainly the following areas, starting with introduction, operation plan, process of developing operation plan, monitoring, limitation sections, summary of budget sections, key focus of this area, and division and department wise summary section, and then conclusion. This has developed based on user-friendly sheet, that is Microsoft Word sheet, and make some instruction for end users of department, project and programs. Most importantly, the full spreadsheet attached in the annex section in an Excel spreadsheet for further analysis. And the next slide. This slide is mainly an example from the previous operation plan, current operation plan. In this slide, you will find the example of goal-wise budget allocation in 2021 of Bdrcs. Moreover, we can make department and project wise analysis from this analysis as a spreadsheet. Next slide. In this slide, there is the example of funding gap analysis, which was performed by Bdrcs in 2021. The analysis gives Bdrcs a clear idea how much funding needed as core and operational cost. Also gives clear instruction how much fund have already confirmed by the partner and stakeholders and also the provision to see the own funding of National Society. This gives also an idea how much funding gap should be minimized within this year. And next, here is the example of many aspects. This is mainly an example of simple and straightforward tracking system has already been developed to track the progress of the operation plan. Bdrcs PMER team worked on develop the tracking system and handed over to the departments so that they can easily track the progress of their operation plan. But in terms of regular tracking, there are still lots of challenges. Next. In these slides, there are mainly inputs in the operation plans. In this area of presentation, I would like to inform you that the following background ingredients that has been used to develop the one operation plan. These are the Bdrcs core activities under all departments, activities and budget of existing multi-year projects programs that will continue in the following year. Plan of new project in pipelines, existing emergency operation plan that will continue following year, that is PMO, MRO engagement. Any emerging plans from COVID-19 context, anything that Bdrcs is sure that needs to be done in the following year. It contains inputs from all 17 departments of Bdrcs, inputs from all 6 to 8 branches of Bdrcs all over the Bangladesh, and it contains input from other limbs are yet to include in the operation plan, and this is a challenging process for Bdrcs till now. And in the right side, please focus on this slide, previous one. Yes, thank you. And in the right side of the slide, the flow chart gives clear idea how in what stage inputs from departments at NSQ and inputs from 68 branches and other institutions are performed to develop these unified plans. And then next. Now we have some key following documents as the guideline to make the operation plan and an analysis to understand internal and external environment and to make prioritization. We reviewed and used the following documents while developing the one operation plan. The documents mainly are OCAC, Organizational Capacity Assessment Certification Plan of Action, which was developed in 2018. Branch Organizational Capacity Assessment findings from 68 branches, preparedness for effective response assessment, safer access framework, strategic plan of Bdrcs, emergency operation appeal documents, NSD framework of IFRC, and NSD compact of IFRC. All these documents has been used to develop the operation plan as the guiding documents. And then next slide. And the last slides of the presentation give you a clear idea about Bdrcs one operation planning process or steps toward finalization of the plan. In the first step, department branches and limbs made their own plan and allocated proposed budget for the coming year, and then made a central compilation of all plans at NSQ level, which was performed by the planning and development team. After that, back and forth process has made to get feedbacks from all levels like senior management, partner societies, and other stakeholders, and incorporated them in incorporated all of inputs in this plan. Furthermore, analysis has been made to inform the end user of this plan, and then before finalization of the operation plan, series of consultation has been performed with the parties with the departments and senior management, and finalize the plan and circulate to the end and in the end through the end consultation process, it is ready to approve and circulated for the end user. And then planning and monitoring team developed implement a tracking system to monitor progress in accordance with the plan, and meanwhile finance department has developed a monitoring progress tools, and that's all. That's all I have presented today, and I appreciate everyone's patience. If you have any questions, you can ask us during the question and answering session or in the chat box. Now I am handing over to the Afroja. Thank you all.
Thank you, Asif Bhai, for your nice presentation. We have already, we have our director, Saimapa, is already here with us, and he is going to moderate the rest of the session. So I am giving the floor to Saimapa to moderate the rest of the session. Thank you.
Thank you, Afroja, and thank you, Asif, for that nice presentation. So I am Saima Ferdowsi, Director of Planning and Development Department of Bangladesh Red Crescent Society. So I'm sorry for a bit late because of others' engagement, whatever. So we'll go for the next session, which is the defining the national society development and national society support, which is we call the NSD direction paper. So Bangladesh Red Crescent Society first time prepared the NSD direction paper with the very much technical support from IFRC Dhaka office. The NSD team of IFRC Dhaka. So definitely we consider the NSD framework and NSD compact of IFRC 1 and for Bangladesh Red Crescent Society purpose. Yes, for the national society development issue, we have the coordination system. So which is we call the NSD steering committee, who are the involved of our governance and our senior management, and we have the NSD advisory committee. All partners are involved in the NSD advisory committee. So and the IFRC Dhaka office is secretariat of the NSD advisory committee, and we have NSD working group, which are the Bdrcs senior management part, and we have other sub working group define the different of the different categories or different activities. So all together we are trying to prepare our NSD direction paper, which we call the NSD work and NSD support. We separate the two parts, and for the main operational plan we are trying to separate the NSD work in the others with a different Excel sheet, and trying to find how much the NSD work in each and everywhere. So based on that, we prepare the NSD working paper. So definitely this paper is supported by, as I mentioned, the IFRC NSD team, the technical support. So at this stage I hand over to Mr. Odisha Durjoy for this presentation. So over to Durjoy bhai.
Thank you, Saimapa. Yeah, my name is Aditya Durjoy. I'm working with Bangladesh IFRC office in the capacity of National Society Development. So I think I'm very proud to be part of this process, and thanks Bangladesh Red Crescent Society and Ms. Saima to inviting me for this presentation. When she said about the NSD direction paper, I think she already explained a couple of things. And just to link up few things with the previous discussions as well. When our previous colleagues presented the approach that Bdrcs has followed for the Bdrcs operational plan that has started from last year formally, and then they are continuing this year as well. So they are maintaining one timeline as well, so that it gets the approval process from their annual general meeting as well. And from an NSD perspective, Ms. Saima rightly mentioned that there is some definition of what is NSD means for Bangladesh Red Crescent Society, and what is National Society Development Support means for Bangladesh Red Crescent Society. And obviously, we know that the NSD framework of IFRC and the NSD compact of IFRC was the supporting document to come to this definition. But the definition that Bdrcs has chosen is basically like grow up from their own context. And I'm very happy that now Bdrcs have a system where they have the one operational plan, as Mr. Asif mentioned, where you can extract the NSD elements as per the definition they have agreed. And at the beginning, Mr. Sanjeev Kafle also mentioned that all the partners in IFRC and also ICSC is the part of the NSD advisory committee, where we played the role as only a technical support. And when it comes to the NSD support part, because obviously Bangladesh Red Crescent Society being a very old and big national society, there are a couple of functions that they are managing by themselves. There are a few functions that they are requesting support from the external partners. The diagram in the slides now, Ms. Saima has explained that these are the macro level thematic group, which is very familiar wording in the movement, which they have identified, and under that they have identified the priorities in their strategic plan for 5 years. When it comes to operational plan, they identify and agree together with the NSD advisory committee for the annual basis what they want to do. Obviously, there are some challenges to implement and tracking, but the good thing is that the system has in place, and I hope that that might give some good results in the coming months and years. There are some strategies for NSD supports. Bdrcs agreed with all the partners, and I will not go through the details. If anyone is interested, we can share the NSD direction paper. But the main aspects on the right corner of the slide, you can see the graph where the Bdrcs leadership actually they agreed that yes, they need the NSD support from the partners in terms of financial support, in terms of technical support, or in terms of strategic support. But especially on the financial support, they are looking for a increasing trend that can be covered by the National Society own, and a decreasing trend, the yellow bar, which is they are expecting that in the coming months or years, in the next 5 years, which is the target in line with the strategic plan. So that the financial support on the NSD element will decrease over time, so that the self-reliance on the National Society increases over time. So that's a basic philosophy that the leadership and the Bangladesh Red Crescent Society actually aiming to achieve in the next 5 years. While Bangladesh Red Crescent Society has developed the operational plan, then extracted the NSD plan, there is also a role from given to us as an IFRC, where we coordinate the partners to get the resourcing on that NSD support plan. And you can see on the graph, like it's an annual basis, how much funding we are collecting and coordinating with all the partners. And then there are a couple of elements as well, like we do mention about the shared leadership approach to coordinate within the movement partners. Then instead of investing on short-term basis, looking for a longer-term funding mechanism. And also Sanjeev mentioned that advocating for a more unearmarked funding, so that the national societies can choose and can have the flexibility to contribute to the NSD works. I will not go on the details on that. The other thing is very important on the is the reporting, which we have starting already. Bdrcs is issuing one NSD bulletin. The aim is to have at least 2 or 3 reports in every year, where all the inputs from the relevant stakeholders for NSD is compiled. So that's in nutshell the direction papers things, and I think that's where we aim to have a collective mechanism for the one operational plan and the one national society development plan. I would stop here, and maybe we have half an hour more, and I am sure like Ms. Saima will guide us through the presentation through the next times. Over to you, Saima.
Thank you, Mr. Durjay, for very brief of the Bangladesh Red Crescent Society NSD direction paper. So definitely we'll go for the open discussion, then we'll go for the online platform, online feedback collection issue, but we'll go for the open discussion. So please raise your hand first, then we'll take your question and we'll try to answer your question. It's not about me, so we have with us our I4C colleagues and the Bdrcs planning team. All together we'll try to answer your questions. So open is floor for open discussion.
Maybe I can start. It's Giorgio Ferrari. I don't know if you can hear me from.
Yes.
Can you hear?
Yes, please.
Well, thank you. First of all, to congratulate Bangladesh Red Crescent Society. It's really impressive the work that you've been doing, both on strategic planning and in coordination on NSD. And thanks again for the very detailed and very comprehensive presentation. One question from my side: what are the challenges that you've been encountered so far to have this alignment of NSD support to your national society? What have what have been the success stories and the challenges, and how can you share with us what did you learn during the process so far? Thank you.
Thank you for your very valid question. So, and we are happy to take this question because really we face lots of challenges to prepare the NSD direction paper and also the NSD NSD plan. Basically, we feel the challenge from the collection of the different departments for their operational plan. Like Bangladesh Red Crescent Society, we have 17 different departments, so it's really tough for us to collect the operational plan based on the strategic plan outcomes and outputs basis, and sometimes we face this type of challenge. The funding challenge is always the big challenge for the NSD. All of the NSD practitioners know this issue very well, the funding challenge for the national society development issue. So same for Bangladesh Red Crescent Society, and we are trying to motivate our partners to for the unearmarked budget for the NSD, and we are trying to separate account for the NSD national society development issue, because sometimes it's really difficult for us to use the earmark budget for the NSD purpose. So we need the unearmarked budget. So it's another thing. So thank you for your question. So if anyone, I really emphasize the others national society who have similar type of work. So please share your experience with us.
But there is a question in the chat box. Could you please?
Yeah. Thank you. The question for in the chat box. Is for the coordination purpose. We the planning team, which is the So the planning team, we have, this is the sub working group under the NSD working group, and as I mentioned earlier in the session, we have the coordination for the different committee, like the NSD steering committee, NSD advisory committee, and NSD working group. So all together, the I4C, our partners, National Society in country partner in Bangladesh, and the Bangladesh Red Crescent Society governance and the management level. So this is the coordination group for Bangladesh Red Crescent Society. We're trying to coordinate these things. Yes, I mentioned that there is a couple of coordination group, and based on this group, we will create a few other sub working group based on the need. Like we recently create a group, the digitalization sub working group, because digitalization is one of the main transformation of Bangladesh Red Crescent Society. Yes, I think I answer your question. So Sanjeev Biswas from Swiss Red Cross, floor for you.
Thank you, Samapa, and thank you for sharing this nice presentation. Asif Bhai and Durjoy Bhai, I think they have clarified the whole thing very well. And I must say, we are very much proud to get involved with Bangladesh Red Crescent Society, because the way the whole cycle has been arranged, from developing the strategic plan to prepare the direction paper and then defining the operation plan, it's remarkable. Thanks for that. So I wanted to know one thing, Sama, maybe Durjoy Bhai can also chip in here. Like, what are the good practices you recommend for the other national societies to replicate in other countries? Like, we have already heard about the challenges, but I want to know the learning and the success factors which could be replicated by us in other countries, all the movement partners. So that is one. And the second question is basically, like, we have seen, yes, there are some gaps, and you have already highlighted, like, you need the unearmarked funding sources. But do you foresee, like, any other options by which these gaps, the demand and supply gaps in terms of budget, can be reduced in coming future? So one is success, which could be replicated, and how you see, like, this funding gaps could be reduced. Thank you.
Yes, Sanjeev Biswas, for your question. So yes, for the good practice is the NSD bulletin, which we already submit the first bulletin, and we are preparing the second NSD bulletin, which is good practice for Bangladesh Red Crescent Society. Some others national society may replicate or follow these good things, and definitely the compilation of the operational plan, which is another good task for Bangladesh Red Crescent Society, which we did and which we follow each and every year to compile the whole operational plan in a one setup. So it's a very good thing so far. We discussed maybe the others national society, they will share their experience, but from our side, it's a good thing from us. So Durjoy Bhai, you may add anything?
Yeah, no, I think you have covered Appa, but one of the other things maybe that can be replicated is like the direction paper that we have developed, especially for the NSD support mechanism. Obviously, that will not be the same for every country, but at least that will help to have the tone of the paper for other countries to follow. And I think you have also mentioned a very good question on how to reduce the funding gaps in the coming months or years. I think that's a very good question, and we all are discussing around that. And one of the things, well, there are a couple of dimensions on that. One, I think Bdrcs is trying to increase the domestic resource base, and where they have done some sorts of analysis on financial sustainability risks, and the core cost analysis, and revisiting their income sources within the country from different types of sources of income by the national society, so that gradually they can contribute in the other perspective as well. But at the same time, how to tap more resources from Red Cross partners and non-Red Cross partners is another avenue for the national society to explore. Yeah, so I think that's the things, but I think it will need a collective action and support towards Bangladesh Red Crescent Society.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Durjeev, for support the question. So I see the raising hand, Ali. So floor is open for Ali.
Yeah, good afternoon and good morning and good evening, the colleagues and Samapa. Thank you very much. I'm really benefiting and I'm really learning a lot. And my question is, actually, I would like to add on more on the Giorgio's comments and the question. So in our works, we are working with the branches, and I'm just wondering, what kind of challenges you have been facing with to disseminate this notion till till the branches level, and how to maintain, the strategic plan and operational plan, how to maintain the same understanding, in the local level as well. Thank you very much.
So, Durjeev, can you answer the question?
Yeah, I think for that we are actually there was one meeting last month where this issue came up, and the rolling out of the strategic plan and the sensitization has been discussed, and that is not only the local levels but also sometimes at different management and governance level as well. Especially now, Bangladesh Red Crescent Society has a new governing board, and Bdrcs has some plan to have a sensitization on the overall orientation as well as for the sensitization on the strategic and operational priorities of the national society. At the branch level, correct me if I'm wrong, there is one decision that maybe whenever there is any training or orientation organized at the branch level for any subjects, maybe Bdrcs can have a 1 hour slot to highlight the strategic plan and the operational plan priorities for every orientation at the branch level. Let's say, is it for a DM related orientation or training, it can have a 1 hour slot to sensitize on that. So that's how it can keep going for maybe for the next 2-3 years as well, so that it reach to all the branches, because we know that the branch management and leadership and the volunteers changes over time. So that can be a inbuilt session for all the trainings, so that it is moving around.
Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you. So there is a question in the chat box. Regarding the increase the contribution of the Bdrcs and decrease the fund for the PNSS. Yes, for the financial contribution issue, yes, Bangladesh Red Crescent Society is trying to increase their resource mobilization issue, not only the headquarter level but also the branch level, and we are trying to partnership with others organization for dependency, decrease the dependency of the partners, and in our strategic plan our target is at least 2 or 3 local level partnership. Maybe we need this type of partnership, so it's in our strategic target also. So, and also Bangladesh Red Crescent Society, we have assets in our branch level and the headquarter level. So we are trying to utilize those type of assets to increase the funding of the Bangladesh Red Crescent Society of its own. So this is the issue. So thank you for your question. So any other hand?
No more raised.
Anyone have any question, or we will go for the online feedback collection form? Okay, so thank you everyone for joining with us the open discussion. We will go for the online feedback collection form. We will use the Slido, and I welcome our senior IM officer, Mr. Jarab Adib, to introduce the online feedback collection. Please join with us the online feedback collection form.
Thank you so much, Samapo, for giving me the floor. We had a very good discussion on one NS, one NSD plan. Okay, so I'm showing you. Actually, we are using the Slido platform for collecting the feedback. I think many of you might know about Slido. Many of you may not know about the platform. So we are going to give a very short demonstration on like how you can take part in the survey. Okay. Okay, so first of all, I will share a link in the chat box. When you will click on the chat box link, then it will redirect you to this page. Okay, then you see there is a joining as a participant. In this part, you have to enter a code. I will share the code in the chat box also. And then like when you'll put the code and click the arrow, then it will take you to the question like this. Actually, we have created 3 pool here with 3 questions. When I will open the pool, then you can see interface like this. And the first question, there is a question like, why? What do you expect in one NS, one NSD plan? Okay, I'm not going to read out this, because you can see this. So in this question, you can select 2 options. Okay, and the next question, why do you think one NS, one NSD plan is important? Actually, it's a text type question. You can write whatever you want, like, but the word limit is 2 words, but you can give multiple answer in this question. And this is also the same like the question number 2. What are the main challenges to prepare and implement one NS, one NSD plan? So you can use maximum 3 words here, but you can give multiple answers. Okay, then I'm sharing. Everybody, please check the chat box. I have given the link in the chat box. Okay, so the link and the code is shared here. So we can see that there are like 56 participants. So we hope that all of you will take part in the survey. So please click on the link, then it will take you to a page. I think you all have already entered into the link and used. Okay, I'm opening the pool. So here you can see the first question. Please don't get confused to see the screen. Actually, I'm sharing the screen to show you guys the answer you're giving. Okay, so click on the link and stay on the website page and give your answer. Those who have missed an instruction, please check the chat box. There is a link and code given for you. Click on the link and enter the code, and then you'll be redirected to the page we are showing on your screen. Till now, we can see 17 participants have responded in the question number 1, 19 participants, okay. We're expecting all of you will take part in this survey. We have seen like there are 58 participants, so we have received 26 till now. Those who have missed, click on the link and put the code and join the survey. Okay, so we have 30 seconds for this question. After 30 seconds, we'll close this poll and we'll go for the next question. Okay, so we are closing this poll and going to the next question. I think you all can see a question. Why do you think one NS, one NSD plan is important? So you can write 2 words, but you can give multiple answer here. Stay on your website page. Like if you want to see the answer live, then you can come to the Zoom sharing screen. There's 30 seconds for this question. If you want to see the answer, you can come to the shared screen. Then you can see all the answers are popping up on your screen. We have seen 26 participants in the first question, so we're expecting at least there'll be 26 participants for this question too. Okay, so we are going to the next poll. I think you all can see a question like, what are the main challenges to prepare and implement one NS, one NSD plan? You can write maximum 3 words here, but you can give multiple answers. Please give your valuable feedback. Actually, it's really important because we will use the feedback for preparing our reports and for further analysis. For advance, thanks for taking part in the survey. Last 30 seconds for this question. We have seen already 19 participants responded 20. So, okay, thank you so much, everyone. I'm closing the poll here. So you can see the reflection of the answers we have received here in the wrap-up session. So I'm handing over the floor to Samapa.
Thank you, Adi, for creating the feedback of online. And thank you everyone who are joined with us the feedback collection in the online system. So we will show you the consolidated result later on. So, and thank you everyone who will join with us the discussion. So at this stage, I hand over to Odisha Durjoy to wrap up and closing the session. So over to Mr. Durjoy.
Thank you, Ms. Saima. I think, yeah, I know we are running out of time, and while we get the results, just to wrap up that, I think if I track correctly, there were discussions from the very beginning around. We discussed about the importance of the operational plan, and then we went through the process that Bangladesh Red Crescent Society followed, and then they also mentioned about their documents, and then the coordination structure, and also the inputs and the resources they have used during this planning process, and also how the coordination with partners and other stakeholders happen. And apart from that, there was discussion around the linkages with the strategic plan and their operational plan, how they are collecting the information from their departments. And they also mentioned about their branches, and some of the things they are still working, like to incorporate the information from the other links. I'm also happy to see the results here on the screen. 73 votes in the 3 polls. Basically, the intention, what I understood, was that from this session, we also hear some feedback from the participants through the online means, so that helps the reporting mechanism of the session and feedback to the global NSD event. So you can see that in terms of expectation from the One National Society NSD plan, I think majority of you have mentioned that it should have a clearly defined NSD activities with budgets. There were also mentioned about the coordination from all levels, and also the management oversight mechanism should be there. There's another big things come up as that the coordination mechanism should be mentioned, which I think Bangladesh Red Crescent Society tried to mention. Next one, please. Then in terms of the understanding of why do you think one plan is important, I think a couple of good wording came up in the word cloud, the better coordination, unity, effective coordination. And there are a few other the good answers came up. I think that will also help us to for reporting back to the event. Next one, please. And then the third one, also the challenges. The coordination gap came up as a very big challenge, and the joint planning, the information collection challenges. There are also challenges on the human resource, and then like how the independence and a few other things came up. I think there are two burning questions on the chat box. Maybe Ms. Sama might want to say something on that.
Sorry. So thank you, Durjoy Bhai, for wrap up the session and closing the session. So I think we don't have any other burning issue. So we will close the session here. So thank you everyone for joining us this session.
Can we take a photo?
Maybe, but most of people are leaving. So may I request all of you please put on your video for a screenshot for our reporting purpose. Please join with us the photo session.
Thank you very much.
So thank you everyone once again to join with us, and thank you very much from Bangladesh Red Crescent Society. Thank you.
Thank you from the participant,
Thank you.
organizers, those who are organized the nice presentation and everything. Thank you.
আপা সব ঠিক ছিল?
Perfect, Shubhrato. Thank you for virtual support.
2 দিনের লাঞ্চ আপা।
Thank you. Please leave the meeting.